Biden, about the Biden Harris. I mean, for IRA, they call it, and really, they were helping for the Philadelphia. If you see, most of the money goes to Philadelphia. They love Philadelphia, but I don't know in the future what's going to happen. These funds, grants. So we celebrate like 17 million federal investment for clean school buses. EPA in Philadelphia, they got for 70 million federal investment for clean school bus. We changed a few years ago, around 100 something or 200 something with penalties money. We asked them to put like diesel oxidation catalyst and SCR, all those kind of stuff, but still they need to replace or change or maybe electric one. 70 million, I believe, is a lot. October 11, 20, EPA announced 40 million now available to fund environmental justice project across the Mid-Atlantic. So we applied recently 350,000, but we don't know. We don't know. We will see. I hope the grant will still be available, and I believe the current administrator, they tried to stop, but I don't think so. So we are expecting 350,000. So we buy a lot of stuff. Monitors. October 17, 20, Biden-Harris administration announced 125 million to upgrade older diesel engine to clean and zero emission solutions. That better. So we work especially for the port, Tioga and Packer with Marama. So we replace a lot of trucks, old trucks, more than 100 with Marama. So MS and Marama worked with that money. So Marama now got 1,396,677. So that is Philadelphia area. Sometimes they work also for Delaware, but this money, I believe, is for Philadelphia area. October 30th, 2024, Biden-Harris administration announced nearly 80 million in clean ports investment for the port of Philadelphia. I don't know. I hope they will get one, which is October 30th. So October 30th, again, Biden-Harris celebrate 34 million in grants to reduce air pollution at school, highlights effort in Philadelphia. So more money for the school. November 6, 2024, EPA published interim final rule administratively staying good neighbor plan. Still, they are working. We'll have discussion tomorrow with PADP, how we implement, how it works. December 12, 2024, Biden-Harris administration announced nearly 1.6 billion in environmental and climate justice community change grants. So that's a lot of money. I don't know what will happen. This is December 12. December 17, EPA published regulation banning park and TSC. Park is for dry cleaners we use. So they just announced this one, December 17, to ban, but we ban already. Philadelphia, out of 235 around park dry cleaners, we have now 0 at the residential, co-located residential. We are not allowed. Commercial, there are a few, less than 10 or 9, but they have to submit like test, like canister samples to our laboratory if the limit for the park is below 50 parts per billion or not. So we did it in 2015 maybe or 14, this one. So we ban. We don't have. Out of 230, maybe 9, we have. October 30, 2024. Okay, I did that one. Sorry. So PIDP updates, December 12, 2024, Shapiro administration award 2.5 million to help local communities build cleaner fuel transportation infrastructure and purchase new clean vehicles. I think he gave airlines here around 136,000 for Philadelphia, and the rest, I think, other 66 counties. City and others updates. Philadelphia joins more than 200 cities and communities worldwide to be certified under the lead for cities and communities rating system. So that is, you heard the mayor, one of our targets is about this kind of stuff, lead, green work, all those kind of stuff. So the green building, we're still working, but I don't know the future. December 5th, but still Philadelphia can join that. December 5th, 2024, Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission Board approved 12.253 million bike and pedestrian projects in New Jersey. So this DVRPC is for 5 counties, New Jersey area and Greater Philadelphia area. That's what it's called. December the same, this authorized flexing of funds to SEPTA. They gave SEPTA 153 million. So they are good, and maybe they got money from grant, I don't know. MS Lab, Village Green, still we are working. We have that one, which is solar and wind energy we use. PACs now will be replaced by Clarity sensors. So we are planning to buy 75 Clarity sensors to put throughout the city. Photochemical air monitoring station, we have that all monitors there, which is the Northeast Water. National air toxic trends we are doing for Washington, D.C. So we analyze air toxics from them. So the toxics monitoring, we are doing those. Fuel oil samples, still we sample fuels people using, because we ban heavy fuel oil recently, number 4, number 5, number 6. So they can only use natural gas. And number two should be from 2,000 part per million of sulfur content to 15. So that is, we ban selling or using any heavy fuel oil in Philadelphia, or selling or using that. Coating and paint analysis we do in our laboratory, any coating, paints, auto car or auto body shop or any place. 2010 community scale air toxic grant. We finalized that one, reported at the PS area. So we measure most of the toxics, and we have the report. Soon we send to EPA. Once EPA approved, we'll post it. MS Laboratory Engineering, so still they are doing great. Criteria gas monitoring, particulate matter monitors, community air monitors, quality assurance, chemical assessment monitoring, our automation in ambient air monitoring, special and complex pollutant issues. So these are the work and regulatory service activities from October 1st to 2024 to December 31st, which is a 3-month report, quarterly report. Issued 110 permits, 67 air and 43 asbestos permits. MS serviced 177 citizen complaints, 86 involved air pollution, 30 involved asbestos, and 58 involving noise. MS also performed 489 license inspections, 54 air, 58 noise inspection, and 381 asbestos inspections. In addition, MS observed 9 vehicles at 9 locations, idling, this is idling, issued 5 citations for violation of the city's anti-idling rules. MS issued 130 new notice of violation. We issued air is 116, asbestos 14 violation we issued. Resolved 62, 54 air, asbestos 8. Still, some they don't correct or rectify or pay the penalties. They need more time. So we have we have limited time. If it pass, it will put into the compliance docket. That means they will not get any renewal or anything if they work without permit. So we will suspend them. Collect 259,000 in fines and penalties. So this is what I have for the updates. If you have any question, or maybe at the end, I have another one, mobile source. I don't know, the board, how do you want me to do? Just complete the updates and
Before you do that, Cass, this is Dr. Frank. I just
hey,
want
how
to
are you?
I want to put on the record that I'm actually here. There was a real problem getting on with the Zoom links as sent, but I am here, and you can count me as part of the board membership and part of the quorum. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for attending. Did you hear the Zoom meeting? Okay.
It was a real difficulty getting on.
All right, I'm sorry. We'll correct next time. Dr. Carol, and you raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah, hi, I was wondering, are you taking questions now or are we doing that later?
That's I'm asking you, the board. You want to take question now or after I finish the second one, which is mobile source?
I'd like to ask now so I don't forget my question.
Oh, okay. Okay. So go ahead. Any question and open to the public.
So first I want to ask, thanks for all the, the update, a lot happening, but I wanted to ask, because I guess we had a full year of the new air toxics rule in place. And I was curious if any of those new permits that were issued went through the new air toxics regulation that was in place the last year.
Yes. So what we said was like starting January 1st, 2025, we implement that risk assessment. So we have a lot submitted, even minor sources, not only major source. So the major source, I believe, how many? Do you remember? Risk assessment we did for major source. 3, maybe? 3? Yeah, 3, 4 major sources we did, like shipyard and what's that? Advanced 6 and what else is that? There's one also,
Okay, so I was incorrect. I thought it was already, started. So,
okay.
So is
yeah,
that
we
something...
started and also we have a minor source a lot. I believe what's 30 something minor source applied.
Like for air management, 6 risk assessment, we reviewed a good amount, like about 50%. A lot of it is exempt.
Okay.
They take levels to get out of it. But I think 50% of the permits we have to review.
Yeah, we have a lot for minor, whoever submit application, because everything must go through the risk assessment analysis. So yeah, we have a lot of minor source and 3 major source we did. Still, we are continuing working on that one.
Yeah, I'm just going to suggest, I think it would be really great if you're keeping track.
Yes.
What the exemptions are. I think that's something, as we get this program really up and running, I would be interested to see, because I think, there's not a lot of places that are doing this. So I think I want you to, be able to share that great regulation and provide us with more detail. So I'll wait for that for the next meeting, but hopefully you can.
Sure. I think Mary Jo, she has all the on Excel files. Which one is what, which day they submit application and when we did analysis, and she has all those spreadsheets. So yeah, maybe we will send you, or we will post it.
I just think it's something. I know that's something we could kind of package.
Yeah, we started immediately January 1st. January 1st, immediately. Yeah, we didn't take time. Yeah, within 6 how many months? Even 4. What's that now? What month is this now?
All right, thank you.
What is this month now? January? Yeah.
Yeah.
Within a month. That is within a month. Look, I thought some February, March, So within a month, we have a lot. We have a lot. Just 1 month, January. So next month, after that might be a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a tail-on question, Cass, to what
Okay,
Carol
Dr.
said.
Papino.
How have the permittees responded to what you're doing with the new risk assessment process?
Oh, wonderful question. Wonderful question. Good you raised this one because I want the public and the board needs to know. So now, especially like few facilities going to council, and really bothers me a lot. So they want, they don't want some kind of this. We have using marked, why we use risk assessment. And I told them, marked is different from risk assessment. So we go for 1 in a million or 10 in a million. For the marked is just to reduce from the facility any emission by using any control. If they reduce that much amount, why they worry, I don't understand. So almost we have like 4 times or 5th time with the council, meeting like 2 hours, 3 hours, arguing. I said, if you have any question, just after 5 years, maybe, you have to report to the board. I can't change because it is already law of the land. So we cannot change. But I don't know, the council is involved now. It is hard. Still now, next February 18th, we have a meeting with the councilman and those facilities, even commerce, everybody involved. And they said, it is tough, you shouldn't do this. It is too late. I mean, it is not tough, and it is too late for them to suggest now what we do. And they don't like also the background. They don't like it. Yeah, there is a lot. And as far as they are doing marked, why we do risk assessment? That's a good question, Dr. Papino. You raised this one. So we have a meeting, another meeting, February 18th afternoon from 1 to 3 or 1. Yeah, from 1 to 3 p.m. Always does. I told them, if anything change, should go to the air pollution control board, and the public need to know, because we cannot do behind the public anything. So the public involved, they participate in the hearing, comment, response. So we cannot do anything. So if they want, after 5 years, they can apply or submit to the air pollution control board. So the air pollution control decide. And the public also, of course, will decide. So I don't want to do anything behind the public, the back of the public, anything. So that's why I told them I will not do anything. But it's still a meeting with the council. They should stand for their constituents, but what can I do? Yeah. Good question, Dr. You raised this question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
Any
Cass,
question?
I have one more question, and I think on your updates, you had a lot of community monitoring and some other projects. Is that on the website where we can look to see, where the monitors are, besides not the federal, the RFS,
Yeah.
but any of that? Is that easily accessible, or is that
Yeah, I think we sent to Aurora, the EJ coordinator. We had a meeting about that, the location and where we do. So we sent her the map. So what we use is, because we did a good analysis for PACS, the previous one, the 50 location. So we add 25 more location. In addition to that, the 50 we have with PACS, 25 additional location. So that 25 location we give to the EJ coordinator. So she can have a meeting with people, EJ or EJ people or communities, leaders of communities and others. So we decide the 15 where it will be. Maybe the most burden EJ communities or something we will do. I know we will do some around Sefta, Nice Town and Tioga area and PS area, maybe more. And maybe North Philly and Northeast Philly. But I told her to discuss with communities where to put the 15
Yeah,
more.
and I request, you know, maybe at the
The
next
map,
board meeting that maybe we can kind of take a look, and because I think it's directly related to some of the work that we discuss here, just
Okay.
even for public awareness, because sometimes the community public meetings can be really difficult to get to. And perhaps some of the folks on the call here and the public would like to see that, even if they can't get to those very specific community meetings that are run by the Sustainability Office.
okay, we'll do that.
Thanks.
That's all. Thank you so much. Any question? Okay, then let us go to the next one. Yes.
Do we invite the?
Huh?
The public? Yeah.
Yeah, ask. Oh, I thought they are. Okay, if the public, if you have any question, use Q&A and or raise your hand. So Colin and Minilik will take the question and send it to me. Anyone from the public. Okay, so we go to, if the board allow me, I would like to present the mobile source. That is a new regulation. It's open. It stopped sharing the previous one. Why didn't, yeah, I don't know why. They said stop sharing, but still.
This one, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's on now, right? This one, right?
Yeah.
Mobile, right?
Mhm.
So one is for the, right?
Yeah, that's good. No. The PowerPoint. So, this-
Mobile.
yeah, this is the Word document, the PowerPoint presentation. So reload mobile, this one.
Share.
Mm.
All right. Right.
Still didn't exit the previous one. That was stop sharing. Still can't.
This one.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is the new regulation. Usually only EPA is doing by Clean Air Act. Even the states, except California, they are doing this mobile kind of stuff, but it was, I don't remember, almost 6 years. I said we need the mobile source emission reduction or control or enforcing them. So yeah, after our lawyers from here, EPA lawyers, PADP lawyers, and commissioner and others involved. So after a lot of discussion, so they allow us nine mobile source regulations. So they delegate us. That is so only stationary source up to now, but this is the first, maybe the first city. So they delegate 9 area of mobile sources. So the main point here is, so this is another one. We put it Gallon and Menelik put. Maybe we'll discuss later on how to just to reduce the emission from the center city or congestion reduction. So one of the delegation they gave us is like congestion fee. We charge people and initiate people to use mass transport instead of driving private cars or this car. So anyone, if you see the red line here, this is, we consider center city. Whoever is entering to this center city, so we will charge. That's in New York they did it. So we put like toll centers, 20 from north, 20 from south area, 20 from west and east. We divided where they will go. So there is a total of 73 roads. So we might put that camera, but we need to work this one with the toll plaza or the PA toll kind of stuff in the future, similar to what New York are doing. So this is one. So this is like center city. Whoever is coming inside center city, because that's the most congested part and very bad air pollution. So we want to reduce the driving into the center city. So here is that point, mobile source, and California CARB also is doing zero emission vehicle mandate. So zero emission, we will do with the construction, others. So zero emission vehicle, especially the city, all vehicles. We suggest to switch to zero vehicle by 2030. Clean fuel standards. If they use clean fuel standards, it should be very, very low sulfur content, or they might use with hybrid kind of stuff. Public transit incentives. So we work on that one. Public transportation. So that is the best the public should use. But what we plan is, if we want public to use the public transport, so you'll see later on the delegation we got, by increasing fee like parking lots, the same with the fee we mentioned, congestion fee, all those kind of stuff. So we work on that, especially the airport area. We want to reduce like the ground service equipment, airport area, any trucks, anything, switch to zero emission. That's our plan. The same with port, which we call is cargo handling equipment. So those, we want to change everything to electric. So that's our plan, to reduce emission from Philadelphia atmosphere, because only stationary facility is not enough to attain PM 2.5 and ozone, especially the ozone is now changing. The PM 2.5 is also changing. So we need to go outside the box or status quo. So we have to move a little bit. So that's why we are trying to do here at MS. Mobile source CARB also, we are working with CARB, the California Air Resource Board. We are working with them and also the New York. So they have few states still implementing the California, which is very stricter. So that's why we are trying to work with the California CARB, stricter emission standard, low emission vehicle, all those kind of stuff. Mobile source CARB, they have impact. Even they go, I don't know, maybe we'll see the car dealers, they have some kind of agreement. So they sell cars, low emission vehicles instead of diesel or gas or something. So they work, but we'll find out how they did it or how they are implementing that reg. So we'll work with them. Maintenance program, special inspection. We want to be stricter than the one they are using. So that is also another one we discussed with PA, more serious, and especially the older one. Or maybe we said we'll ban tier 3, not selling or using in Philadelphia. That's another, the next. So this is a section definition. We added community zone fee. That is the one which I mentioned when they enter to the center city, 73 location. We suggest camera and discuss with PA. Tomorrow we have a PADP meeting. This is one of our agenda, how they want us to do and how they help us. So tomorrow, this is one of the agenda. Cargo handling equipment, that's what I said. All those cargo handling equipment should be changed, switched to electric. The same with the ground service equipment is for airport. This is for port, this is airport. So non-road, this is a lot, non-road, the construction sites, anything, rail, everything should be, our plan is to use the contractors, we force to use electric cars, trucks, all those kind of stuff. So that is our target, our plan with the contractors, especially consultants. They have to use all tier. So now we are tier 4, which is almost 10 years, tier 4, past 10 years. So now they are moving, Dr. Davis is here. They are moving to tier 5 because every 10 years they have to update the tier. That means more stringent. So our plan is tier 4 to use currently. If tier 5 comes, we'll change. Tier 4 or some retrofitting or control, emission control they have to use. That is our plan. Standard of emission. So this regulation can include limits on tailpipe emission, fuel sulfur content, and vehicle inspection program to ensure compliance with emission standard. So it depends on the cars and others. So states can implement stricter regulation than federal one. So the city even more stricter than the state and others. Section 3, this is idling on road. Still we have idling, we use that one. But if the board think still require, for example, the maximum allowed period idling shall not exceed 2 consecutive minutes or 0 for layover, except under some condition. The conditions are here. If less than 32 degrees, 5 minutes, we allow. 20 degree less than 20 minutes. And bus, for example, if it is above 75 degree, we allow 20 minutes. So if the board think or the public, maybe less time or more stricter than this one. We need to work on this too. The same with the non-road diesel power, controlling of emission non-road diesel powered motor vehicles. So for the GSE and CHE, cargo handling equipment and ground service equipment. So we do the same procedure, airport and port, all idling. And section 5 we added is no person shall operate tier less than 4 non-road diesel powered vehicle or retrofit it with emission reduction device such as selective catalytic reduction and or diesel organic catalytic. So they cannot use tier 3. Tier 4 is the latest one until we get tier 5. So they have to use tier 4, or they have to put some control until some reduction they will show 40%, 50%, 60%. So we'll put the analysis the next meeting. So I want this regulation passed in 2025. So we'll work hard. We'll finalize by the next meeting. So we'll discuss about that one. So that's what I said. Phase out of tier 3. No more. Only tier 4. We use the latest one. Otherwise, they have to put some control stuffs. Section 7, limiting unnecessary emission and around marine, which is a port area, marine, any. So it is similar to the temperature, but the board can suggest or the public can suggest to reduce those minutes. The other, the section 8 is instituting commuting zone fee. That is the one I said. The one, the map I showed you at the beginning. So like Interstate 95, 76, 676 entrance to the city. So either they have to use mass transport or we will charge them. So we work with the PA, DEP tomorrow. They will suggest us how we do. And also we are learning the New York one, how they are doing the New York. We have contact information. We'll work with them. Maybe some of you said just, this is once in regulation. We can work still as other agency, the division or outside the city, because we are still working a lot of regulation, such as the noise and vibration, which is a city regulation, not MR or not MS or not code, AM code, nor not air management code or air management regulation. We are using another regulation. Asbestos was Title 6, which is not ours, but they told us to do it. The same with trash, which is 3 departments, but they told us to do it. So that's what we are doing it. So this kind of stuff, we have a lot of stuff doing at MS, which is not our regulation, or it is not the state, or it is not the Clean Air Act. The New York has, as I said, the New York has that one, and New York, they got per year 1.5 billion, something like that. So we might get, I don't know, some 100 millions. So it will help to maintain the street or help like minority people put more monitors or helping some kind of incentives. So it is a lot of money. So it helps the community and the city. Fees vary based on, the fee is varied, daytime, work time, and when congestion is high. So those kind of stuff. So we decide. We have the New York one. So we'll decide for Philadelphia. They include passenger vehicle, trucks, and buses are not subject any commuting zone fees, including passenger vehicle, trucks, and buses. But still we can't change. But New York has different one. I'll let you know. New York City started implementing it. So they started implementing the New York City this year. Exception. This is maybe we put exceptions. School bus. they don't have to charge. City cars, commuter buses, emergency vehicles, low-income household, like 50,000, 60,000. So we will decide the board after discussion and public hearing comments. So we'll come up with something. So also the other one in section 9 is variables rates parking. So that's why when we increase the parking or limit the parking space, so people will not find, they don't have, that's the principle. They don't have to drive throughout the city. So what they do is, so we will charge them. So they use mass transportation. Will the additional just fee be contributing to public transit, greening, and environmental justice projects? So the money we got, we implement on that one. So the regulation 10, we got delegation is the Philadelphia Code section 148802. It requires to change because more parking spot it requires. So our purpose is, we discuss with them, our purpose is less parking lots. So people, if it is difficult for them, let them use mass transport. Maybe the money we get might help the mass transportation, safety, and others. So any person or contractor of subcontracts to perform construction work in city must use ZEV. That's what we said. Any contractor, any person, anything, construction work, including their cars, their trucks, dozers, or whatever, they have to use ZEV. So after what year, that is the board and the public decide. So the section 12, committing the city of Philadelphia to clean fleet goals. So we want the city by 2030 switch to ZEV or not allow any diesel or any gas or any kind of that to buy after 2030. Just try to replace all to ZEV, but after that, we don't have to buy any gas or diesel. Police service, this is a program they have already. So no person shall build, erect, install, or use any article, machine, equipment, or other contrivance, the sole purpose of which is to dilute or conceal an emission without resulting in a reduction in total release of air contaminants to the atmosphere. So this is the mobile source, the 9 we have got. So we'll do our best to reduce emission in Philadelphia. So I hope the board and the public and MS will work together, the best solution, and really, because I'm worrying, if we concentrate only on stationary source, look, the mobile source is more than 50% NOx and others, PM 2.5 and toxics released to the atmosphere. So that's not enough. So we need to, this is the first one, delegation. When we done this one, I also asked more, so they might provide us in the future. Once tomorrow, especially, we discuss about all this kind of stuff. And thank you. This is a mobile source we have. Any question, Dr. Carol Davis?
I'll let Arthur go first. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Cass,
sorry. Dr.
well, that's fine. You know, all of this makes a lot of sense. We have to do something about that. But I actually went through this document that you sent in some detail before, and I have a number of issues. I should also add, there's a news article out today that Mr. Trump wants to stop New York from using congestion pricing. You know, all of this is going to go against, unfortunately, Washington policy. If I could just go through a couple of points in the document by section that I wanted to ask about. Section 5, the non-road diesel-powered vehicles, it says that anything can't be used on a bad air quality day. how often would that be affected? How many people? I mean, that means businesses have to shut down or work has to stop. And you know, how is this going to be enforced? We've had, you know, idling rules in the city that you clearly don't have enough staff, you know, all over the city to enforce that. So that's one issue. That's the first one.
Okay, yeah. The first one, the one you said about this, the New York, I read too. Yeah, he tried, or he will. I
Yeah,
think
well,
he
that's
decided before he became a president, I believe,
yeah,
and he
that
wants to stop that one.
yeah. Well, today he said he's going to see about turning it back. So let's put that aside because
Okay,
we have to move in this direction. You know, if our children and grandchildren are going to have decent air to breathe. Um, you
yes.
know, some other well, a generic issue too is you want everybody to use public transport, but you know, SEPTA, you know, is not in great shape. Be it the subways, be it the buses, be it the regional rail. Um, Nothing in this plan, and nothing do I see where some of the monies that are going to be collected go to make it more usable or feasible for people to actually use public transport.
Uh, yeah, that's what we discussed even this afternoon. How can we use the money we got from here? So we said maybe a school and SEPTA. We will put the detail. Just we need to hear from you, from the public.
Well,
And yeah, so because if we want incentive, there is one. We said, I believe somewhere, to SEPTA in some kind of incentives that SEPTA need. I think somewhere I put it that one.
yeah, I mean, there has to be some incentives to
Yeah,
use
we
it,
put that one.
and with fares going up, with services going down, there's not a lot of incentive, and you know, people are probably still going to want to park, you know, drive in and park. Um, is there going to, you know, for some of these things, is there going to be enforcement? You know, there's some interesting things in here about lower parking rates. I was wondering, just a small thought, that anybody who drives a hybrid or a zero emission vehicle now, probably you could incentivize those by giving them lower parking rates. I'm just going to put everything on the record
Yeah.
and then you can decide what you want to discuss. You've got this section here on any institution that has more than 50 employees. Uh, if it's greater than a quarter-mile walk from the SEPTA subway, they must provide communal transport. Uh, any idea how many people that actually applies to, and how many companies? So that's an issue. In section 12, it uses the phrase "where practicable," which I don't know what that means. It's, you know, how's that defined, and seems a little bit vague. So there's some issues. I think this
Oh.
document still needs, you know, some work. And what concerns me is, you know, it's nice to have all of these regulations, but in addition to perhaps increasing the ability of public transport to respond, you know, your office or other people in the city need to be supported. You know, the idling issue, that goes on all over the city, probably all the time. And there aren't enough people to enforce that. So those are some of the concerns that I had.
Yeah, what we said on this 12 is we just discussed this morning. So the purpose here is, if still we initiate up to 2030 zero emission vehicles, but still there are vehicles like new or still there exist, we cannot say no. But after 2030, the city must not buy any diesel or any gasoline or any kind of that vehicles. So only the zero emission vehicles.
Yeah, that's if they're available. I mean, I just don't know. Are there fire trucks that are available that are ZEVs? You know, I can understand police cars. I can understand city cars, but you know, things like fire trucks, I guess ambulances are pretty easy.
Yeah, I think most of now, for example, the trash trucks and other already start switching to hybrid or electric one. So in the future, up to 2030 is long time. So by then, there is a plan, the website I put. So they have that plan, the city. So we support that one and we put into regulation. That is the purpose. We
Yeah,
are,
that certainly would be good. So thank you, Cass.
yeah, we'll do that on. Okay, thank you. Okay, Doctor, are you still asking, Dr. Davis? You are mute. Mute.
I had a lot of questions.
Uh-oh.
But I have to think about it because I agree with Dr. Frank's questions. I'm also concerned from a city resident that this feels like a money grab, right? We're already putting up another, all these red light cameras, which it's all this money and money. So I'm curious about that. Yeah, we have to think about that. I still think there's parts of public transportation that people don't feel safe depending on where you live in Philadelphia. So I have a lot of implementation. I can tell you my heart really goes to, I want to reduce diesel emissions in the city of Philadelphia, right? These are straight up cancer causing emissions that, EPA has not come up with a unit risk estimate factor for. So I'm definitely for, definitely trying to figure out how do we get all these trucks and things that have really high diesel that you can see it like, fixed. And then my other question, so I have a lot of questions of implementation similar to Arthur. But I'm also curious of the map that you picked up. It kind of looked a little jerry-rigged to me, and I wasn't sure how it was decided. Is it like how that was decided? Because I think that could provide some tension. And if people who live in there, but maybe they work in King of Prussia, so they don't have to so I'm not quite sure how all this is going to fit in. You're going to have to define what a low income family is. That's going to need to meet whatever definitions the city of Philadelphia traditionally uses. I mean, there's some complicating factors. I'm so that's just something to think about. And I think I have another challenge on some of these highways. We, from an air pollution perspective, right, to make sure we're telling the story of how our air monitoring data, right, how do we think that doing this is going to impact some of those other things that we report on as a city. So I think that's going to be another big important connection as you work with city council and really try to get this. They're going to say, can you tell me the why we're doing this and what are going to be the real impacts? So I think that's another important thing that connected to the actual air quality.
Yeah, the purpose is, as I said, reduction of emission from mobile source. We do it just to reduce, especially it's a congested area like Center City. So to reduce, even the traffic is bad, Center City. If you use Center, I never used that one. If one time or two times I used, it took me so long. Even sometimes they park side of the road when loading, unloading. So that is the worst. So city is really difficult to drive. So what does it mean? That means it increases emission for everything. And the city has a big, huge.
One more thing, Cass, and then I'll send it over to Dr. Featherstone. Another thing that I didn't see in here, which I think might help some of that, is having dedicated times where trucks have to do deliveries instead of double parking in the middle of the, Chestnut Street during the day. Or I mean, that's what they do in New York, right? Restaurants get deliveries at certain times, that are set where there's not already a ton of traffic and emissions to try to help that congestion, right? Because again, when you have all the so that's just something to think about that's not in here.
No, we did analyze some kind of analyze, to avoid this kind of stuff. So we tried, loading, unloading after 8 to something. Then the people say, oh, the noise, there are a lot of people living in downtown area, residents. So they complain about that one. Maybe some limit time like 7:30 or 8:30. We were doing this kind of stuff. So some analysis, and we check other cities, how they do, like New York. Even they bring with something which noiseless or some small, so truck park somewhere far away, and they bring a small amount at once. So that's another option they are doing. And sometimes even they put, noise absorbers kind of stuff to load and unload. So we discuss a lot about that one. Maybe in the future, we'll continue about this double parking on the roadside, which creates more congestion and air pollution. So yeah, we are looking at that one. We have some studies from other cities too, even we saw from Europe and other, how they are using this kind of stuff, like London, Tokyo, all those kind of stuff. We checked. So we'll work on that one. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Cass.
Sure. Okay, Dr. Featherstone.
Hi.
Dr. Featherstone, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. I just not only, but my main concern right now is just about the understanding and defining the exceptions to this. Like I'm thinking about people who have to drive in because they have disabilities. So just having those thoughts, like low income families or somebody who's low income, I just want to hear more about the exceptions and what you're thinking or what the plan for that is when it comes to these fees.
Yeah. That's some example I put, exemption, I mean, like emergency and commuter buses, I said, and yes, low income, maybe 50,000, I don't know. We decide, the public will decide. We will put, that's a good point, like disabilities, people, and even people living in center cities have to pay in that congestion area because there is their place where they live. Maybe this kind of stuff we will look. Whatever suggestion you have. I know it is difficult. I understand your concern, the same concern our lawyer, India, she has about this one. So that's why I just put forward this one. Just let us discuss. If possible, we can do it. If not, maybe in the future. But still, we got delegation for that one. So I don't want to eliminate any delegation we got. So if any best solution we have, we do it. If we can't, so maybe in the future, we'll do this kind. But good point. So I will add, if you have any comments or addition from the public or from board, we will add for the next one. Just email me or suggest maybe the next one meeting. Let us, our section, find out some exemption, and I will also add some exemption. And for the next meeting, by then it will be ready. If it doesn't work, this one at this time, this congestion fee, maybe in the future, but still we got delegation. I don't want to lose that delegation or to exclude that one. That's the reason.
Do you mind if I ask a clarifying question? I just want to make sure you said that even people who are like living within that center city boundary, you're saying that they're also paying a fee every time they're coming.
No, exempt.
Exempt. Okay,
People
just making sure. Okay, that's okay.
Area, that's their home there. They exempt from that one. That's maybe we will add, why they pay. Thank you, Dr.
Cass, I just had two things I wanted to add, or like I said, emphasize for you to take notes. One, I think a better explanation of how you're defining what Center City is with some more clarity. So I think that's going to be needed because that map looked a little wonky to me. And then the second thing, I know Arthur had mentioned this, but I think really, I think the details of any money that was collected, where it would go, so that you can really describe the benefit. So again, it doesn't look like the general city money grab of, when they put those new red lights on, of how much money, the city collects. And, the parking authority is not necessarily an organization that is well loved by residents in the city of Philadelphia. So just want to put some caution, or at least some reflection on that, because I think that we can highlight where any of this is going. And again, that importance of reducing air pollution, especially diesel, I think is a good suggestion.
Thank you. Good question. I think a little bit I already mentioned about this one, the money, like maintaining the road and helping EJ communities, something, or SEPTA like transit, this kind of stuff. Yeah, the money is used to the public or just improvement of air quality. I mentioned like putting more monitors like SEPTA area, Nice Town, Tioga I mentioned, and PS, more that kind of stuff, monitoring and more implementation. So for the area, the city, it is already decided by the city. If you see the regular MR10, which is
Okay.
complex source, so you can build 500 parking lots if you are outside that area, the center city area is allowed. If it is more than 500, so Reg 10 will apply. If you are in the center city, if you build like 250 maximum allowed, 250, if it is more than that, so the air quality analysis and the traffic analysis is required. So that is already the city has. They call it like Vine Street, and so they have. So if you see the Reg 10X we have, that is from the city. So they
Okay.
call it the area center city and outside center city. So it is there. The city has decided already. So we
Okay.
took for MR10, yeah. The other, yeah, the money I already explained. So
All right, thanks.
that's why the public is respond. You know what the public, that's why, yes, we'll take your advice and what we're gonna do. We improve the next time, the next meeting, but still the public decide, you know, what they want, how they want, and everything. So because that's why we have a public comments and public hearing. So we'll take all those advice from the public and we improve it even more once the public input is there. So yeah, I understand the first one is you, board members. Your suggestion, we'll take it, the suggestion, but if it is difficult, this one, we might do it in the next one. But the main point, our focus is, keep in mind, the airport, the port area, and idling and construction, the construction equipment, and especially the contractors and the consultant use ZEV. The same with the city, use ZEV. So that's the main point. If we use that one, if we apply all those areas, I'm sure it will reduce by a lot. So we focus first on those areas, then we will include this the congestion fee. But it helps to improve the life of Philadelphians, I believe, and reduce emission. It is not only money, reduce emission by a lot. That is the purpose. Yes, the money we use it depends. It depends on the mayor office, the public, the board. So we can add, you know, okay, the money we got, we use maintenance of road, Philadelphia road is bad, or EJ communities, or monitoring, or SEPTA. You decide. I just present what I have, and you decide which is best for the Philadelphians and to the city.
Well, it really makes a difference if one has a comprehensive approach to what we're all trying to do, which is make the air in the city cleaner.
Mhm.
And if some of these programs are put in place, but the funding that is connected with it doesn't go to the same end, then people are going to be resentful, and things are not going to work. I mean, again, Carol Ann brought it up, I've brought it up. You have to help SEPTA. You have to make parking not to be seen to be a money grab. You have to increase enforcement of some of the regulations for idling and for behavior. And if you reduce traffic, I mean, you've got trucks that I'm sure are stuck in traffic every morning that idle for more than 2 minutes waiting just to move. So if you can cut down on the number of vehicles, that's a good thing. But there's got to be a comprehensive approach, and it can't be that on the one side you get clean vehicles, but on the other side the money isn't there to support this.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I just present and you decide most, you can reject whatever you want because you are the board. You are you are authorized to put to put forward the regulation. So whatever you suggest, I'll take that one. And a good point, maybe we put on the regulation. Any money got from this, it should benefit the public by whatever you explain. Parking, more parking outside, like safety area, to build a parking lots, and so many stuff. So the idling improving and enforcement. People, we need to hire more people, like enforcing idling, for example, and other stuff too, the construction kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll include what you said, both or all four members, board members. So we will include that one, and the next meeting we added what you said, and we work again on those inputs. So thank you. That helps a lot, and we will do our best. And at the end, you are the one who decide which is right, which is wrong, which to delete, remove. So that's why. But I'll take all your questions.
Cass, I have one more question, and this is for you to think about and for the board and for the public. Again, my husband works steady midnight shift, so not necessarily going to have availability of public transportation. And I'm thinking again of, the hospitals where people have unconventional timing, and, so sometimes there will not, buses do not run 24 hours a day, and either does regional rail. So that's just another thought. Going back to Dr. Featherstone about exemptions, because we do, people are coming into Center City, at these unconventional hours, so that they might not have access to public transportation.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, that's what we discussed. So we will have, like, if we charge especially, let us say from 5 a.m. to 8, or from 6 to 6, or 6 is still congestion time, maybe 7, 8. So that's the time we are looking for.
Okay.
Charge. After that,
Sorry, I'm sorry if I missed that.
yeah, weekend, and like after hours, I don't see any. This is congestion. Whenever there is like rush hour, the rush hour time, we try to reduce that one during especially rush hour, and the fee might be higher rush hour, and the rest weekend and holidays, and after 9 or 8 p.m. I don't think so. We will do that.
Okay.
So between
I'm
that
gonna-
gaps and rush hour, yeah.
I have one more suggestion. I think moving forward, a really clear communication plan on how the public will be made aware of this change should be part, at least adjacent to the rule, because I think that is, any, we want to make sure that people are well aware of it before, right, they start getting charges. So I just think a plan that is going to be really important so that people are not surprised. And that's normally when residents get upset, right, if they were not aware of something. So it's just a suggestion as we talk about this. How would people learn about this new regulation and the requirements?
Yeah, we always, what we do is whenever there is new regulation, it will published, it will go to our website and email to the public or wherever there is access. So once it is done, still, even you suggest a good point and the Air Pollution Board, Control Board approve it. So we have published that. We need to publish that one. Maybe we add more time until most of the public are aware of this. Then we take their comments period. And even if they want some hearing, whoever, the public or the industry, so we'll have hearing. So all those process should be implemented. So it is not just we approve this one and then no. It will go a lot of process. We try to involve people. You know, the next time we always publish. Some people they see it, but they don't want to attend. I don't know why. But we always publish websites, even those who know whom we know like communities and others. We email them. Okay, we have this. We attach the agenda and send to them. But yeah, we try to involve a lot of people, especially on this one. So this is the first draft. So maybe the next draft might be better. So
It needs to be, made very public in the paper and on the radio,
Yes.
just like the red light cameras when they were announced very recently, that people heard about and it's not being implemented for a while. The other thing, Cass, I want to commend you for sending the document early enough that we had a chance to read it. I think it's going to take more than one more meeting on our part to
Yeah.
hammer out details, but
Yes.
I'm sure you were going to do it, but please, before our next meeting in May, send this out, several weeks before whatever the new draft looks like so that we have a chance to go over it and come prepared to make the meeting time very profitable in terms of our time and potential changes. But getting it ahead of time is very important. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will do that. We will do that.
Cass, do you have time for one more question?
Sure.
I wrote down all these brilliant questions I was going to ask you, but my colleagues kind of beat me to the punch on all of them. So I thought I come from a different perspective. Your
Okay.
perspective. Tell me what you think is the largest single obstacle that we have to overcome to make this plan sort of become a reality.
I mean, everybody mentioned actually, all, including yourself. Once we include your comments, what everybody said, board members, then we'll do our best. And I know maybe if we invite all community, because they are driving to the center city or close to center city, so we'll have a lot of comments or maybe rejection or deny, I don't know. But some people like environmental or who understand about emission, all this kind of stuff, will get positive. But most of the people maybe, the only challenge is the one we are discussing, the congestion fee or the congestion part. The other, I'm sure they will be happy. The public will be happy. So that is the only issue I have. Even our lawyer, India, she's here, I believe, unless she left. So that is the lawyers also concern how we do it, and that I think that is the only challenge I am facing, or MS or the board maybe, unless we rectify, we work on this a lot, and everybody prepare, read about other, or we will provide you how New York, or I think the only city is New York doing this kind of stuff. And discuss with EPA and PADP because they gave us this delegation. So tomorrow there will be another meeting with PADP. So how can we handle this kind of stuff? And I'll take your questions. These questions came from board members. So how we resolve this kind of stuff, especially EPA also involved. We have every month a meeting with EPA and PADP about these mobile sources. Last week, I believe we had a meeting. So I think that this is the only one, the challenge or the difficulties we will have. If we have a solution and taking your inputs, it might be better or easier. So we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Papin. Any question? So we are still 4 board members out of 8. Oh, she left? Okay. So we cannot do anything with the minutes. we cannot vote because quorum is not fulfilled. So next time we have, nobody told me except Joe. He has a doctor appointment. I don't know. I sent this long time ago, the meeting day and time. So the next one is May 1st, which is Thursday, from 2 to 4. Maybe I will ask at most of the, or majority of the board to attend. So, so I believe you have idea about this mobile. That is, as Dr. Popino said, this is a challenge, the one we have, the congestion one. We'll work on that one. The rest is, I'm sure the public wants. It reduces a lot of emission from airport, port, idling, construction, equipment. So those are, we focus more on that. And we try our best to resolve your questions and give you some kind of solution on this one. So we'll take your question and work on that one for the next meeting. And as Dr. Arthur said, we'll send you maybe that, say, a month. Is that okay? Like 4 weeks in advance?
That would be great. And,
Okay.
you know, it's.
So we'll send everything then, not at least 4 weeks in advance.
And it's on my calendar for May 1st, and, you know, barring some unseen catastrophe, you know, we expect to be there.
Okay.
And, are you open for a
So
motion?
in April 1st, around April 1st, I will send.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, April 1st.
Are you open to a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah. So can you just, because you are board members, just can you do that one?
Yeah, a motion
okay.
to adjourn. We need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Bye.
Aye. Any
right.
opposed? No?
No.
All right. If there's no other business, Cass, we thank you. And this is very important, this whole set of issues. The lower hanging fruit, the airports, the docks, the heavy equipment, that's more easily doable,
Mhm.
but the others are important too and will be a major contributor. So till our next meeting, thank you for shepherding us through this process.
Great. Thank you so
And
much.
I just want to say, go Eagles.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Bagels.
Yeah.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye
Thank you.
all.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.